Thank you for... Wait, are we live? Okay. I started my intro a little too early. Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 4:48 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at a very large and strong tornado, which is now a PDS. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. We have a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. Okay, this is near Des Moines, Iowa, right? This is near Maxwell, Nevada, and State Center. You gotta take cover now. This is a huge debris ball, even visible in reflectivity. The velocities are quite literally off the charts. It is ridiculously strong. Okay, so again, this is now a PDS tornado as of 4:48 p.m. So let me go ahead and check the velocities here. Oh my goodness, guys, 149 mile per hour winds I know estimated earlier, and yeah, that's still the same scan. And if we take a look at the debris signature on the correlation coefficient, you can see it is just so deep. This is another large and destructive tornado. We did also have a tornado in between streams that was on the weaker side of things here, closer to, downtown Des Moines, and this could still be on the ground, so remain in your safe place in Woodland Hills, Altoona, up towards Bondurant, and Colfax there. But again, we now have a PDS tornado, so we're going to go ahead and update the stream title here, because this is a big deal. If anybody has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below in chat. So again, this is now a PDS tornado warning. So again, you need to run, not walk, to your tornado safe spot. If you are up here in Maxwell or Collins, out towards Iowa Center, Nevada, Collos, State Center, anywhere in here, I don't care where you are, you gotta run to your tornado safe spot. This is a very strong tornado. I've seen it's been on the ground for like 15 minutes now or so, but it is officially now PDS. I saw it was very strong, which is what prompted me to go live, and oh my goodness. Okay, this is a very strong and potentially violent tornado. This is a very strong tornado. This is huge. This is a big deal, guys. Okay, this is really bad. Again, if you're in this warning, you gotta run to your tornado safe spot. This is a huge, violent, damaging tornado approaching Iowa Center and Maxwell. Very strong tornado. Significant debris being lifted up into the atmosphere here. I mean, guys, it's not far off from a tornado emergency. Now we have a new tornado warning. It's for parts of Minnesota, Steele, Rice, and Goodhue counties. Take cover now. Interior room, lowest floor of a building, away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, evacuate. Again, take the same precautions, same exact ones in this area, but put them into place now. You don't have time to wait. You gotta go now. I don't care what's going on. This needs to be your number one priority. Again, we're getting winds estimated by radar up to 163 miles per hour with this tornado, which are high-end EF-3 level winds. Now, again, I'm not a pre-rater. I'm not saying this is going to be a high-end EF-3 tornado, but oh my gosh, a massive debris ball. Hello, Jordan. Again, just an absolutely gigantic tornado here. We're talking possibly the size of some of the big ones we had last stream, or stronger. Just an absolutely insanely large tornado here, guys. It is huge. It's violent. It's deadly, potentially. Just cannot believe this. It's actually insane. Is Alpena going to be safe tonight? Yep. Alpena, Michigan is fine. Actually, you are technically in the marginal risk of severe weather. But what I think is going to happen is whenever these storms hit Lake Michigan is they're going to really lose most of their steam. I think by the time they reach you, they're going to be an isolated gusty wind and small hail threat. I doubt the threat for anything else major is there in Alpena. Again, we gotta focus on this closely, guys. I mean, this is, again, possibly the strongest tornado we've seen yet today. And we've had some big ones. That is significant debris being lifted into the air northeast of Cambridge, Iowa. And unfortunately, this ripped right to the southeast of Cambridge. Hopefully, Cambridge avoided it. It looks like they might have, which is good, but definitely some places southeast of town did get hit. And again, we are continuing to see this absolutely massive tornado rip through parts of western Iowa here. Actually, now we're kind of in central Iowa, kind of in the heart of Iowa. All right. Thank you, Jordan. Man, that is a huge tornado. Oh my gosh, it's just so strong. The velocities are just quite literally off the charts here. Again, this is a very large tornado. You need to run to your tornado safe spot if you are included in this tornado warning. Very large and strong tornado here. Again, it's PDS. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. It's moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. I don't think I've ever seen a tornado move that fast. That rapid movement there is just incredible. It really is. It's insane. So, kind of to talk about some of the areas that, are going to have at least a chance to get hit by this. All right. Let's drag this out here. Then we'll throw it at 70 miles per hour. So, Colo, you've got like 6 minutes until this is on top of you or less. You got to run to your safe spot. Fernald, same thing. You got about 7 minutes. Ziering, 13 minutes. St. Anthony, 14 minutes. Clemens, 15 minutes. Bromley, 17 minutes. And Bangor in 20 minutes. They did just condense this tornado warning. It is still a PDS tornado. And still very large and strong here. Again, this is heading dangerously close to Colo here. Again, you got to run to your safe spot if you're out here, you guys. Very large and strong tornado we have on the ground right now. This is very large. Again, same thing with Nevada, Fernald, St. Anthony, Clemens. You guys have got to go now. St. Anthony, as far as Ziering, Bangor, and Liscombe, you got to get to your safe spot. Again, this is a life-threatening situation. This is a huge, damaging, destructive tornado. You can see the debris ball and reflectivity near Nevada there. And again, this is just insane. This is a massive tornado. Again, we got very high winds estimated by velocities there. And as this continues to head northeast, again, it's going to continue to take advantage of this environment and likely, or possibly become even larger. Alright, this is a semi-discrete supercell here. It managed to pop up just before the entire system went linear. If this, tried to do it, 10 or 15 minutes later, it may have failed. But because it did it in time, we're going to have a big problem here. Again, we're talking, this could be a tornado as big, if not bigger, than the one that we had earlier. We're at peak daylight heating hours. We're, in a semi-discrete environment here. Again, it's just not good. So right along Highway 30 right now. Very strong tornado. Heading up towards New Providence, Union, Liscombe, St. Anthony, Ziering, Albion, and Colo. So again, you gotta take cover now, guys. Oh my gosh. 156. Again, this is a very strong and large tornado, and it's just not showing any signs of weakening, guys, unfortunately. It's going to continue to head northeast here towards St. Anthony, Ziering. Unfortunately, depending on the track that it takes, it has several towns that it has the possibility of hitting out here. The correlation coefficient signature is not quite as impressive. I think that's just because there's literally no debris to be picked up out here, hardly. I mean, if you look, this is just an incredibly rural area. I mean, it's not as rural as I thought, but still. I mean, it's going through open country here for the most part, guys. And that's still a pretty impressive CC drop. And I'd also like to note, it's developing a tail. It's got this tail of debris behind it, which is what we see with some, very strong tornado events. Usually whenever we have a very strong or even violent tornado on the ground. So again, I cannot stress this enough. If you guys are in this area, you got to take cover right now. Very large and strong tornado on the ground. Very strong. Man, it's just ridiculous what we've seen today across parts of Iowa, and unfortunately, this was expected. It's not like this is a surprise. We knew it was going to be bad. That's why they issued the PDS Tornado Watch. We don't get those hardly ever, and whenever we do, we get stuff like this that occurs, which is just horrific to see. It's just horrendous. It really is. Again, this is a very strong and large tornado southeast of Nevada now. Heading off to the northeast towards Calo, Fernald, St. Anthony, and Ziering within the next several minutes. Here, so you got to take cover. Again, you got to go. You don't have time to wait until it hits you. You got to go now. And this also could be a rain-wrapped tornado on one side, or on several sides, so don't try to go out and look for this thing. Just go. Go to your shelter. Or your safe place, wherever that is. If you're in a mobile home, you got to get out. If you're in a car, pull over, find a shelter to get into. I mean, this is just a very ridiculously strong tornado. Again, PDS tornado on the ground. Now probably far northeast of Nevada, probably somewhere up here, because this thing is just moving ridiculously fast here. Luckily, it's looking like Nevada just barely got spared there, but I will say they probably did get some intense winds from the outflow boundary. Or the inflow, rather. Wow. Again, I mean, we're talking about a very strong and large tornado here, guys. You can continue to see the debris ball and reflectivity even. Again, you're fernald now. You gotta run to your safe spot if you're out here, guys. This is a very strong tornado. Incredibly strong, I would say, even. This is one of the more dangerous situations you'll find yourself in your entire life if you're out here in central Iowa. So take cover now. By the way, I do have some updates on our tornado that went through Greenfield. Apparently there were several injuries reported, unfortunately. And there's also tons of damage across the city, obviously, or the town, rather. Okay, so this is continuing to be a very strong and large tornado with estimated wind speeds of about 130 miles per hour. If we take a look at the correlation coefficient, I mean, it's just getting bigger. You guys see those little red spots? Those are your dead air spots where the debris signature is so deep it doesn't even register on the correlation coefficient because of how strong it is. And again, it's still even got a little tail of debris, it looks like here. It almost looks like a goldfish if you were to, like, flip it on its side. I mean, again, you guys, this is just absolutely racing off to the northeast here. Again, this is going to go dangerously close to St. Anthony, Iowa. Scan of 130. Yeah, earlier it was in the 160s, so it's like 165 or whatever. So, you got to take cover. You don't have time to wait. Just go. There's absolutely no reason to not be in your safe spot right now if you're in this warning. Not a good reason, anyway. So again, we're talking about areas like St. Anthony, Ziering, and Union being in the direct path of this very strong and large tornado over the next several minutes here as it just races off to the northeast and the east once again. I mean, it is just insanely strong, guys. And again, it's going to go dangerously close to all these little communities out here in central Iowa. Again, this has been on the ground for like a half an hour now. It was on the ground before I went live. It just wasn't that strong. Or not as strong as it is now anyway, but that's not saying much, really. Again, there was a tornado back here earlier. Somehow this is still a radar-confirmed tornado warning, but I'm not seeing any confirmation. But there definitely was some earlier, so. Ryan Hall has a probe very close to the tornado, but it's pointed the wrong way because he does not have PTZ cams on them, sadly. That's unfortunate. I'd love to see this thing. It's probably very photogenic. But at the same time, it's probably rain wrapped, so you'd have to be super close to it to see it, really. Waiting for this velocity update here, we can continue to see the tornado. I believe that's it there near St. Anthony in Clemens, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, that seems a little far. Okay, it's back here. Off to the west. You can still see it on reflectivity, though. Wow. Very strong velocity couple. Once again, very strong tornado here. Very large. We do have a new tornado warning now. It's going to be for portions of, once again, central Iowa here. Back near the Corydon area. Take shelter now. Yeah, it's up to 132 still in the velocities here. 132.03 mile per hour winds estimated by radar there. Just a ridiculously strong tornado. Again, we're talking very large and strong tornado approaching Zeering. And again, I mean, it's curving a little bit, which is making me scared that it's going to go even closer to Zeering than I was originally thinking. This is going to come dangerously close to the town of Zeering, Iowa. I think more likely, though, what's going to happen, actually, is this is going to go straight. It's going to last for a while, I think, and I think that it has the very real potential to go straight towards Union. I know that's a really far out, well, not really far even, but a decently far away town, but it looks like, I mean, it's in the direct path here. Again, if you're in Union, you got to be getting to your safe space right now. You got to be running to your tornado safe spot. And this is a very strong and large tornado. Again, I mean, it's just a massive one. One of the biggest ones we've seen today, if not the biggest one we've seen today. Again, it's PDS. The only good thing about this one is that, unlike the Greenfield tornado, it hasn't directly hit a town yet, it doesn't look like. At least I don't think it has. I will say earlier it was in a very populated area, though, when it was near Polk City and Crocker, but it wasn't quite as intense back then. It probably ripped through the northwestern side of White Oak, though. And it did kind of go through southeastern Cambridge. So, I mean, it's hitting houses. I mean, as you can see by the debris ball, it's sucking up everything out here. There's barely anything out here, and we still have a huge debris ball associated with our PDS tornado here. So, again, there is your very large and strong tornado on the ground near Zeering, Iowa. You gotta run, not walk, to your tornado safe spot. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Impact, you're in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris will be deadly, may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. They have condensed this warning now. Still a PDS tornado here as it heads towards Zeering and St. Anthony. The debris is becoming a little bit more scattered out here. I know it looks like the debris ball is a little bit less, but realistically, that's probably just because there's literally nothing for it to hit out here. I mean, there's barely any houses at all, guys. But all of them out here are going to be in bad shape. I can guarantee you that much. It's going to be somewhere up here now. The velocity couplet will be. Most likely. Okay, so this is actually quite a bit weaker with the newest velocity scan, but again, this is still a very strong and large tornado, most likely producing winds up to 110 miles per hour. So again, you need to stay in your tornado safe spot, obviously, if you're up here. At the minute, though, it does look like that's weakening out, but it could just be in a cycling phase as well. So, again, there's absolutely no reason to not be in your tornado safe spot up there. And you gotta go. You don't have time to wait. You just go. That's what you need to do up there right now. I just cannot even believe what's happened today. I mean, we were expecting something like this, and it's still shocking me. This is the kind of thing that, rocks people's world upside down for years, unfortunately. This is going to be one of those historic outbreaks that people in Iowa remember until the day they die, most likely, if they were impacted by any of these tornadoes, unfortunately. I mean, the Hawkeye State has had a hard time today, that's for sure. At the very least, we can say this has been a big-time tornado outbreak. Because it obviously has. It's just awful. It really is. Oh my goodness, dude. I mean, this is still the same scan, but I'm still just trying to process this. This is about a 2-mile wide debris ball here. And that does not mean the tornado is 2 miles wide, but the actual debris that it's lofting up into the atmosphere most likely is the area of debris. The debris ball, if you will. Because, yes, this tornado is so intense, it's picking up a swath of debris that is about 2 miles wide. That's why we stress, even if you're not going to be directly hit by this tornado, everywhere in the warning polygon gets to shelter, because there's going to be so much debris flying, and if something out of here falls and hits you in the head like a piece of sheet metal or something, that'll obviously hurt very badly and potentially be life-threatening. And again, that can happen even if you don't get directly hit by the tornado. A lot of people seem to think that the dangerous thing about a tornado is like getting sucked up inside of it. That's usually not the dangerous part. It's usually flying debris, as the National Weather Service notes in all of their tornado wordings there. Okay. So again, a weakening tornado, at the very least, is still on the ground here. Or, I mean, you could have just lifted and there's still just debris lingering, but I think it is still on the ground. It's just roping out, probably. Alright, again, that was on the ground for, like, at least half an hour, so that was a big one as well. Just like the last ones we had. You'll notice all this bam, bam, bam sounds. That's because we're getting all these severe thunderstorm warnings, because, like I said last stream, this area of storms is turning linear very quickly, and that's going to promote the threat for life-threatening 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. As you can see by this massive line of severe thunderstorm warnings here. So it's around this time, because once again, that's kind of our last real discrete cell that had the potential of doing a lot. Yeah, I think it did die. Storm Chaser 575. That was kind of our last discrete cell that really had the potential of doing too much. The rest of it's, only semi-discrete at best. And now the damaging wind threat is going to be what we focus on here for the rest of the night for the most part. All right, we're talking about, again, a line of destructive storms potentially extending all the way from Tulsa back near Minneapolis. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It is a huge line of storms about to sweep across parts of eastern Iowa, eastern Missouri, parts of far northern Arkansas, eventually into western Illinois, southwestern Wisconsin. It's going to be big. Okay, guys, so I'll keep you guys posted. This tornado warning is now no longer PDS, so we're going to end off the live stream here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. It's been very intense, even though we only had one tornado that we were really focusing on. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, we will be live again later if conditions warrant, but outside that, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.